I need you to go with me down this rabbit hole for a minute, and I'm going to need your comments below. I'd really like to know how you feel about this. One, we live in a world right now where everyone is saying, get something battery operated, it'll solve all your problems. They talk about working faster, working more efficiently, and the reality is in some cases battery operated tools can do that, like battery operated drills. Really hard to find a corded drill at this point, even on the job site. But that's just a normal size drill. When you get into an SDS drill or a large rotary hammer, it's really hard to find a cordless one on the job site. When it comes to generators, anything actually 2,000 watts and above, you're going to find a gas motor powering it. When it comes to something like this Metabo HPT air compressor, you're not going to find a battery operated motor pushing out 5.5 horse. Just isn't going to happen. Same with electric cars. We could go down that road. Everybody says buy an electric car. Well, the people telling you to buy them probably don't live up north where there's a winter and haven't gone through the experience of watching their range go from 280 miles down to 80 miles when it's below 32 degrees. And then once you start getting out, they tell you, the car tells you to keep it plugged in so it keeps the battery prime and warm. So you're using a lot more energy than you would if you just ran gas at that point. Long story short, how can a tool company then come around and tell you that they make professional quality tools only and they run the job site when all they make is battery operated tools, nothing like this? Because job sites, large job sites that I'm on, if you're a roofer, you're going to have this. If you do siding, most likely you might need this, especially if you're moving around houses or different things. And somebody's going to tell me, hey, we'll just get a battery operated roofing gun or a battery operated siding gun. They're all out there, and they are, and they're used for small punch list jobs. They're not used for the large ones. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm embracing that this new Metabo HPT, the tank they're calling it, it's a 9-gallon Honda powered air compressor. It's awesome. It's great. I'm not going to go over it top to bottom here, but it's a step forward. You could look around and say, hey, Makita makes a V-twin version. This is a single version. Makita's version goes to 135 PSI. This one goes to 145 PSI. 9.5 CFM. You're not going to find that out of a battery operated tool. And it's these companies that are pushing the battery operated stuff that aren't getting this stuff out to their large clients who really need to do large construction work or even residential construction work for that matter. This might be used more on residential construction than commercial construction, but either way, this stuff here is kind of the heart of a lot of job sites, but everyone's not making it. But I'm going to get my butt in a sling here. They call themselves the king of the job site where we're going to cut the cord or no gas. I love all the tool companies that are out there, but I love to see innovation also in areas like DeWalt came out and did a lot of work on their corded grinders. If you're a welder and you're grinding a lot, you're still using a cord because you can't go through that many batteries just to simply grind something out. That's the truth. If you're coming out and needing a large generator or anything else, you're not getting the battery operated ones. Although they're very cool, they don't give you the long runtime or the power. If you need an air compressor like this, you're going to continue to research this. And let me tell you, there's not a lot of views on this on the internet, but I understand why. Because the guys who need this go out and look at it and be like, yep, Honda motor, yep, does my, it's an air compressor, it does its thing. Is it the right price? Pick it up and go. And they're not researching it, it's not touted, it's not marketed, it's not pushed that you need this, it's not going to... There's a lot of things that go along with it. So when you're buying your tools, how many of them did you actually need? Like I just did a review on a Metabo HPT heat gun. Compared it to the Milwaukee, compared it to the DeWalt. That heat gun's cool. I'll link to that in the description. It's got all of them there. We tested them out. Milwaukee performed last, DeWalt second, Metabo HPT first. The DeWalt and Metabo HPT were very close. A lot of people commented in there, dang, I didn't know I needed a heat gun, but I'm going to get one now. And I don't do these reviews so people just go out and buy the product. I'm not trying to push it down anyone's throat, but I think a lot of people are watching these videos, seeing the tool's cool, buying it, popping it in their toolbox, and then never using it, or using it once in a great while. And there's nothing wrong with that. But how much money gets put away in that stuff? That's another one. Just talk to me about how much you have in tools that you don't use, or maybe don't need, or bought because you thought it was cool, and then it just sits. Very curious on that one. It's interesting how marketing kind of can get into our heads a little bit and push us into areas where we think is the right way. I'm going to ask you to take a look at all the tool companies that are out there and look at all of what they make and look at who you think is maybe the best, and then take a look at the wide variety of tools they make. We've always said Makita is horrible at marketing, but great at engineering. I think Metabo HPT is almost in the same boat, where their marketing is not the greatest, but they're making things across the board for the construction industry. They don't branch out into the automotive industry far. They don't branch out like Makita does into outdoor power equipment and things, but they focus on construction. They make great nailers. They're really coming around with their multi-volt stuff. They're making this stuff and actually trying to improve on their gas-powered stuff because they know that the contractors need it. Take a look across the board at DeWalt and look at all the crazy stuff they make and or buy and put their name on. Then look at Milwaukee. Everything's battery operated except unless it's really old. They don't really refresh their corded tools. That surprises me a little bit. How many people might need a corded 10.5-inch circular saw? Interesting, I guess, to look at. Comments below. Give us a like in this video. This isn't our normal video, so I'm not even going to ask you to subscribe if you haven't, but if you want to, you have that option. We have a lot of tool videos out there. I'm trying to keep it a little more real because this could go south for a lot of different places. So one way or another, subscribe, like, I asked you. Have a great day.